Good morning or afternoon, whenever you are able to join me. Happy Tuesday. For those of you that don't know, I am Theresa Eads, the Children and Youth Ministry Director at Kirksville First United Methodist, and I'm glad you are able to join me. So today I'm going to share with you, I'm guessing some of you get the daily devotions that our church sends out every morning, the texts. And I just love those. They so often plant a little seed that I continue to think on, develop, try to initiate into my day. I so often just continue to think on them. Here's one, and this is from actually last Saturday. Yes, from Saturday. It's from Matthew chapter 11, verse 12 is the verse it's based off of, and I will read that to you in just a moment. But the devotion itself says, "And Jesus healed in miraculous ways." As Jesus healed. Sorry about that. He called out the hypocrisy of the religious leaders, the lack of compassion, the heartless legalism, and slander. Now, so often, I think religion gets caught up in this rule, boundary set. Yes, God has established some rules for us. Yes, God wants us to follow boundaries. But God never once said, judge each other, criticize one another, put one another down. And unfortunately, that so often happens. We think, oh, well, I'm a Christian and I'm doing what's right and I'm following God's will and I'm praying regularly, and they aren't. But that's not what God called us to do. God called us to love one another and share that love. Very simple. So I'm going to read to you Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. Actually, I'm going to read 11 and 12. "I tell you the truth, of all who have ever lived, none is greater than John the Baptist. Yet, even the least person in the kingdom of heaven is greater than he. And from the time John the Baptist began preaching until now, the kingdom of heaven has been forcefully advancing, and violent people are attacking it." Those are Jesus' words. And I think we forget that sometimes it truly is that drastic. When we are not sharing the love of God's kingdom, when we are not showing others the joy of God in our life, but rather criticizing, being harmful, being hurtful, being critical, having our set boundaries of what we think is right, we are being those people who are attacking the kingdom. Now, to me, that's hard. I don't ever want to attack the kingdom of heaven. I don't ever want to harm what Jesus came to earth to do. But when we are judging others, when we are being a hypocrite, when we are thinking just because we are someone who walked through the doors of a building on a Sunday morning and listened to a beautiful message, we are better than someone else, we are attacking that kingdom. I've just continued to think on that since I read that Saturday morning. When we have a lack of compassion, when we have heartless legalism and slander, we are so hypocritical and so damaging to others. So my thought for you this week, this is what I've been trying to tell myself anyway, so I'm going to share it with you. My thought for you this week is just share the love of Christ. I always tell the youth this quite often too, but I tell my own children, mind your own business. You do you. Let them do them. You have no reason to judge what they do. You have no reason to have an opinion about why or how they are doing it. You are responsible for you. That's the only person you're responsible for. So hopefully we can even have that reminder as adults to just be responsible for ourselves. And that job that has been given us in our responsibility as people of God is to love, be kind. Let others know how joyful and wonderful it is to love God. Our opinions, well, they matter in some instances, but when it comes to someone else's life, it's not our concern. We haven't walked in their shoes. We haven't lived behind their closed doors. So our job is to be kind. Our job is to be loving. And our job is to share with others that love and kindness. I hope you have a beautiful week. And I hope maybe this was a good reminder to you, because I thought that was a beautiful devotion to give me a great reminder of I only have a job of loving, not having an opinion. Have a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.